and welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Detroit Tigers episode. Yes, and our last AL Central team.
The best AL Central team.
Well, at least the best Mount Rushmore, I think. But that being said, all five of us are here tonight again, back-to-back episodes with all five of us. Good deal, good deal. And I don't think I have any more housekeeping, so we can get started. Drew, who is your fourth member of your Tigers Mount Rushmore?
Justin Verlander.
Oh, I don't have Justin Verlander.
I don't either. I ain't got him either.
Nope. All right. Well, for his career, Verlander has an MVP, a Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, Triple Crown, 2 RA titles, 2 World Series, 9-time All-Star, ALCS MVP, and a Major League Player of the Year. But in Detroit, he got Rookie of the Year, a Cy Young, an MVP. I'm trying to see. Did he win his Triple Crown? And I think maybe. I can't tell. I have to scroll back and forth. He might have won his Triple Crown in Detroit. I think maybe.
Yes, he did.
Yes. Yeah, he won his Triple Crown in Detroit. He was on a couple of their World Series teams. They didn't win any World Series, but I think he went to 2 while he was in Detroit. And he was their ace pitcher, I think, in both of them.
No, he went to 1. Did he go to 2?
He went to 1 in 06, and then I think he went to the 1 later on, making them go in, 12?
I don't remember.
They go one of those years. Don't the Tigers go? In the 2010s, don't the Tigers go 1 year? Because don't they lose to...
Who did they lose to? Didn't we just talk about that? In the
Yeah.
2012 MVP? Oh, the Giants. They lose to the Giants in 2012.
Yeah, 2012, yeah.
Because we just talked about the Posey MVP
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, so yeah, he goes to 2 World Series
Mm-hmm.
when he's with the Tigers. He led the league in wins 2 times when he's with the Tigers. He's led the league 4 times. He led the league in ERA 1 time when he was with the Tigers. Innings pitched led 3 times. Where's ERA? Oh, I already did that. I was looking for strike. He led the league in strikeouts 5 times when he's been with the Tigers. He's been pretty consistent his whole career at the Tigers. He went once he started actually pitching, he went 17, 18. Okay, he had a bad year at 11. 19, 18, 24, 17, 13, 15. And then he gets traded there shortly after the Astros. Or goes sign, I don't remember which one. But I thought he was one of the newer Tigers, and he's been a pretty dominant pitcher my whole career. I remember him being with the Tigers at least 2 of the World Series. They didn't win either one, but he was their ace pitcher those years.
Yeah.
So that's why I put him at 4.
Yeah, he's good.
I know last week we were talking about Ryan Braun being an asshole. Justin Verlander is also a huge asshole. And his wife is not much better. She's also very obnoxious. I won't call her an asshole, but she's very obnoxious. He's also somebody that I think is clearly on steroids. I've been on this train for quite some time. He was a god-awful pitcher who was lost 10 miles an hour on his velocity his last couple years in Detroit. And then all of a sudden he went to Houston and won multiple Cy Youngs and could throw 100 miles an hour again out of nowhere when he was 92 his last year in Detroit.
We all know how clean and upstanding Houston is.
Right.
I'm talking about Detroit, Verlander. I ain't talking about Houston. That's a whole different issue.
How bad did the ERAs get in his last few years there?
Well, the year is not his last year, but the 1 year where Drew said he had an awful year, he had a 4.84, but that wasn't his last year. He had a 4.54, and then he had 2 years in the 3s after that. Yeah. So, anyway, I just wanted to rag on Verlander for a minute because I don't like him.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right, Wade, you got 4 left?
I do.
Who you got?
Went with the old second baseman, Charlie Gehringer.
I did not have him either.
He's my number
I don't
4.
have him either.
Your number 4?
Yep.
Right on, Ray.
I don't have him.
I was trying to decide on my number 4. I wasn't sure where to go. I did think about Verlander. He was one of my top choices. He's probably my 5 or 6. There was a couple other guys that I checked out. I won't say their names. I'm not sure, just in case they pop up. That I considered. But then I came across this old rascal
This old rascal.
And I just thought to myself, what a gem I've found. So I went with him. This is a second baseman. Sorry. A second baseman that got almost 3,000 hits, 2,839, 184 RBIs, over 1,400 RBIs, 320 batting average, 400 on base. Yeah, they didn't start the All-Star game. How old was he? I thought this was a fun stat. They didn't start the All-Star game until he was 30 years old, and he still made 6 All-Star games. Yeah.
He played his whole career in Detroit, didn't he? 19 years.
I saw a second baseman, almost 3,000 hits, over 1,400 RBIs, on base percentage over 400 for his career, 320 batting average.
He did win an MVP.
Yeah, MVP, 6 All-Star games, all after the age of 30 because they didn't have the damn game before he was 30.
His MVP came when he was 34.
Yeah, so I mean, because there's another second baseman that's famous for this franchise, and I thought about him, but then I came across this guy. But yeah, I just thought he was a fun pick.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but he seemed like he was a quality player. Yeah. Well, who else had him?
I did.
Oh, Ray did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything to add before we move on?
I'm good.
Uncle Doug, do you have a 4 left for us?
I do.
Who you got?
My 4 is Hank Greenberg.
Oh, well, he's my 3.
Say he's my 3.
Yeah, old Hank.
Just 3 of us?
Yeah, I didn't put him on.
I didn't.
Hank's in the Hall of Fame. Played almost his whole career in Detroit. Played 12 of his 13 years. He had 1 year in Pittsburgh. Had 2 MVPs, 5 All-Stars, 2 World Series, 1,600 hits, 331 home runs, a 313 batting average, which that's his totals. Excuse me. In Detroit, he batted .319 with 306 home runs. He also finished 3rd twice in the MVP and another time 6th.
By the way, he and Gehringer played together.
Nice.
Yeah.
First base and left field.
Yeah, I just thought that a guy that won multiple MVPs and multiple World Series, he gave up 3 years of his prime to to World War II. I was like, yeah, I'm got to put this guy on. Like you said, he led the league in home runs 4 times, RBIs 4 times. I mean, he had 184 RBIs 1 year.
Yeah.
That's pretty nasty.
He led the league in walks 1 year, led the league in slugging percentage, OPS. Like, dude's a beast. His career batting average of 313 for a power hitter.
He had a career OPS of 1.017.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his whole career. So it's like
Is that the all-time leader
No.
for career?
Yeah, I do believe Babe is the all-time leader. So, yeah. Obviously, I didn't watch this guy play, but I thought he was a worthy guy, and yeah, there he is. Anybody else have anything to add on old Greenberg? All right, Ray, do you have a 4 left?
I do not.
Oh, so am I the only one with a 4 left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, my 4 is Miggy.
Oh,
he's my 2. So.
he's my number 3.
He's my 2.
I think we talked about Miggy a little bit last week, but Miguel Cabrera almost split his career in half. He's, I guess that's not true. Maybe I was thinking of somebody else. Played 16 years in Detroit, and won back-to-back MVPs, one of which we talked about last week in our 2012 MVP discussion. He also won it the next year in 2013. He is not yet in the MVP. He's not yet in the Hall of Fame. He just retired a year ago, or after this last
past
season.
season, I think.
Yeah, so he's got like 5 years before he can be eligible. He won a couple MVPs, like I mentioned, Triple Crown in one of those MVP seasons. 12 All-Stars. I'm not sure how many of them came in Detroit. He won a World Series, but that was not in Detroit. 7 Silver Sluggers, 4 batting titles. So he has a fair amount of awards, majority of which came with Detroit. He did win a couple Silver Sluggers and made 4 All-Star games in Florida. So
He's just flat out. You can argue he's one of like the 10 greatest hitters to ever play baseball.
yeah, he does have 500 home runs. He has 3,000 hits, which makes him, I think, the 8th player to ever do that.
Yeah, something like that.
He's a Hall of Famer. End of story. He'll get in.
I got a fun little trivia thing for you. Miggy's one of 3 players ever with 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, and 600 doubles. Only 3 players have ever done it. Who's the other 2? To do it
Willie
with
Mays.
Miggy. Nope.
Oh, Hank Aaron.
Yes.
And it was 3,000.
How many doubles?
600 doubles, 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. Only 3 people have ever done it.
Albert get that many doubles?
Albert's the
Yeah,
other
I
one.
was about to say.
Hank Aaron, Albert Pujols, and Miguel Cabrera. That's the elite company Miguel Cabrera put himself in by the end of his career.
That's a pretty good group.
Trying to think if Albert was fast enough there towards the end to get enough doubles, but
Must have made up for it when he was younger.
If you hit the ball hard enough, you can
Yeah.
Just hit it in the gap. You can get to second.
Yep.
I mean that's what you should think, but some people can't.
I know.
I just feel like Miguel Cabrera's career, since he retired during the war era, he got underappreciated when he retired. Like everyone's like, because his WAR isn't very high.
When you said war era, I was like, are we talking about Greenberg again? Like, what are we talking
No,
about? Like,
everyone's obsessed with WAR right now.
yeah, no,
that's
you're
all.
right.
That's the only stat anyone cares about. So this guy that just had 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, 600 doubles, that you could argue is one of the 10 greatest hitters ever. No one really gave. I mean, he got some praise, but it wasn't as big a deal as it should have been.
Well, he doesn't do a lot of the things that analytics find as good. Like, he didn't steal bases. He was a poor defender, which, counts against him. And he had a high batting average, which analytics don't care about.
I mean, I get all that, but at the same time, to a certain point, it doesn't, like, I don't know. It just.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that Miggy's not an all-time great.
No, I know that. I'm just like, to a certain point, like, there's always people obsessed with war. It's just like, just shut the fuck up. Like, we just don't care. Like, just fuck off. Like, you're just ruined. Like, it's amazing what he just accomplished. Like, him and Pujols both just retired. You can make an argument for Pujols being the greatest player ever. He's like top 5 in almost every important category, and his like. Mike Trout already has almost like caught him in WAR, so probably like Mike Trout passed Ken Griffey in WAR like 4 years ago.
Yeah, we've talked about how low Ken Griffey Jr. is.
Yeah, because if you that's the thing. There's a lot of
He played
people.
great defense.
There's a lot of people out there that say Mike Trout is, may go down as the greatest player ever, and that was stupid popular a few years ago. And his counting numbers are worse than Andrew Jones.
I know, like it's
Yeah, we did this comparison like through their first.
Yeah, their first 11
Yeah,
seasons.
they're the same.
like Ken Griffey has over 600 home runs, won 10 straight Gold Gloves, has almost 3,000 hits, and
We just all realized Mike Trout has 0 Gold Gloves.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but he passed Ken
And
Griffey in
he hadn't
WAR.
won anything else either.
Yeah,
He's only made the playoffs once.
Yeah.
And then you say, "Oh, you can't blame him. He just signed his life away."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, war's doing him a whole lot of good, isn't it?
it's just nuts. I don't know. I feel like we really stood up for Miguel Cabrera.
What is
there.
it good for?
There you go.
All right, so I pulled up the all-time WAR leaders for Major League Baseball. Babe Ruth is number 1.
That's not surprising.
A lot of all-time greats right up here at the top.
Where is Trout?
I'm looking. Looking for our first current player. Wow, Wade Boggs is 43.
Nice.
Mike Trout is 52nd all time in WAR.
Okay.
He's the current leader.
And of everyone in Major League Baseball right now, he's currently.
Yeah.
What's his number at?
85.
Mm.
King Griffey Jr.'s was 83.
Retarded.
Here's the guys. He's one ahead of Charlie Gehringer, the guy you just picked.
Who's got higher WAR, him or Greenberg? That's a deciding factor.
No,
Go.
so what you can't just rant about it, say how it sucks, and use it.
We all hate it, so it's equal ground.
Pedro Martinez and King Griffey are right there next to each other. Nolan Ryan, Justin Verlander, Drew's guy.
That's my guy.
Tom
Gehringer's higher.
Glavine,
I didn't
Jeff
hate on it.
Bagwell, Clayton Kershaw, Pete Rose are all here below Mike Trout.
So the all-time hits leader,
Brooks Robinson.
Brooks. Okay, the guy with like 16 Gold Gloves.
They don't care about Gold Gloves, Wade. You can get one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They don't care about Gold Gloves.
Ozzie Smith.
So was WAR just created for Mike Trout? I think it's all conspiracy now. I think maybe it was. Didn't it come out around to get popular right when he came in the league?
Pretty much, yeah.
Where's Albert at? Did you
I
pass?
think we
it?
just
I
discovered
don't know. I
something
wasn't
here,
looking
Ray.
for
What's wrong
Albert.
with this?
I was just wondering where.
I'm sure he's on here somewhere.
Who you looking for?
Albert. I just want to see if he's ahead with everything he's done.
I hope he's ahead. If he's not, that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, he spent a lot of time in DH, and they make DHs negative. First off, you only get half the points. You don't get the defensive stuff.
Ooh.
And he spent a lot of time.
Well, I
in
guess
DH.
his defense,
I'm looking at Albert.
his last few years he actually played with the Angels was probably
His WAR is 101.4.
okay. So he's ahead,
Yeah, there he is, 29th all time.
Okay, I about to say if his.
but still, Albert's 29th all time.
Yeah.
He's like what, third in RBIs, like third
RBI
or fourth.
RBIs are based on luck.
Oh, that's retarded.
I mean,
Okay,
that's-
he's like third all time in home runs. Is it luck to hit it out of the park 700
No,
sometimes?
analytics like home runs.
He also throws like 3,500 hits. He's also like top 5 in doubles. Like,
Yeah, he almost has 700 doubles. It's 686.
yeah, so like,
Yeah, well, at the beginning of his career, went 47, 40, 50, 50, 30, 30, 30, 40.
yeah,
So he did make it
Yeah.
up at the beginning of his
yeah.
old Albert.
So if you're top 5 all time in home runs, RBIs, doubles, he's probably up there in runs scored. He's probably top 5 in total bases. He's top like 17 in hits, and he's 29th in WAR.
By the way, Babe Ruth has 20 points on Barry Bonds in WAR.
Who does?
Babe Ruth.
Really?
How can they even calculate some of these
Yeah.
older guys' WAR from like the early 1900s? Like they don't know what all happened in those games.
I mean, I guess it's just based on their stats.
How do you?
Babe drank 3 beers for this game, extra WAR.
So like,
Yeah.
doesn't like Ty Cobb have like an insanely high WAR?
Ty Cobb is 6th all time with 151.
How would you gauge his defensive WAR?
Right.
How
How do
could
you
you-
gauge Babes?
How could you go back and know how great his defense was?
Well, Ty Cobb played center field, so he just got points.
Yep. 3 points in the category.
But seriously, how's that? How would they do that?
Good question.
How would you get a WAR for someone who played 112 years ago?
I can't imagine that Babe Ruth was a great defender.
Drunk in the outfield?
I mean,
Where's it at? Wait, where's it at?
Hey,
Where's...
I mean, I don't know how good of a defender he was at all, but you're talking about drunk trying to catch a ball. He was hitting the ball out of the park drunk.
Right.
So I bet he could catch it.
Okay,
and we know
sober or drunk, that fat ass ain't running too much down. He ain't doing a whole lot out there.
but we do know he had an arm.
That's true. That's true. He had a good arm. I don't think Babe Ruth was, Mookie Betts out there, but
I don't think he was a lot of outfielders.
but back then, of course, he was hitting more home runs than whole other teams. So I'm sure his WAR was pretty high. It's like the rest of the MLB has 63 home runs. Babe Ruth, 68. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but he has more. He has more home runs than the whole MLB.
Yeah. It's like, oh no. He's pretty valuable. We should jack his WAR up.
All right, gents, we probably ought to get back to what we're actually doing here. We just got done talking about Miggy. So who has a 3 left?
I do.
I do not.
Ray does.
All right, Ray, you can go ahead, buddy.
All right. So I got Lou Whitaker.
Oh, Lou Whitaker's in the Hall.
And Lou Whitaker he was a Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-Star.
Oh, no, I'm going to lie. He's not in the Hall.
Oh.
Yeah, not in the Hall,
Oh.
yeah. Won the 84 World Series, 3-time Gold Glove, and a 4-time Silver Slugger.
Got a nice accolade
Mm-hmm.
all
Uh,
around.
Let's see, 244 homers, 276 batting average, 2,369 hits. So, yeah, pretty solid.
Played 19 years in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I bet he makes at least an appearance on the all-time leader list. Playing 19 years there.
You'd almost have to. I mean, just look at LeBron.
Gosh dang it.
There it is. There's the
He
comment.
missed, he missed one while you were gone, though, Wade.
All right.
He didn't do a week.
Yeah, I know. I was slipping. Shit happens.
Pacers were losing it, right?
Gotta
Couldn't.
keep the
Yeah, that was
LeBron
probably
hate
my
strong.
distraction. Yeah.
Now he's got a podcast with JJ Redick.
By the way,
Oh,
I watched
yeah.
part of the first episode, and I kind of like what they were talking about, and I was interested in it, but they have got to have some visual aids.
What do you mean?
Because they're breaking down how to defend something, and they're talking about, well, the defender for the wing and the defender for the cutter and the defender for the, and they need to switch and they need to do this, and I'm like, you guys got to show us that, because they're just talking. There's no visual aids at all. It's just them talking, and after a while, I'm like, guys, I'm trying to follow this in my head, like which defenders we're talking about and which, who switched on to who, like, guys, you got to give us some visual aids here, like it's just the two of them sitting across the table talking, drinking wine.
I was surprised he was doing it with JJ Redick, just because JJ Redick's doing all kinds of other things. And
It's a very
so I was just-
interesting duo.
yeah, that's just not what I was expecting. But
Yeah.
Anyway, we sidetracked it again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Anything else to add on Lou Whitaker?
Second baseman.
There you go.
All right, well, Lou's not going on. We don't know nothing about him.
Well, Uncle
Qualified for not enough knowledge.
Uncle Doug, you said you had a 3 left.
Yep, I do.
Who's your?
Al Kaline.
He's my 2.
He's my 2.
He's my 1. I put him at my 1.
Oh,
Oh, hell.
no. He was 5.
You didn't
He
have
was 5.
K-Line?
He was 5.
I feel like
Okay.
it's a lot of hogwash in this episode.
No, Al
Hogwash.
Kaline.
Not hogwash.
Hall of Fame, 10 Gold Gloves, batting title, 68 World Series. Batted .297 with
Killing
3,007
me, Drew.
hits,
You're killing me.
399 home runs,
Such a nice guy.
and 1,582 RBIs.
I'm trying so hard not to cuss. I'm trying so hard.
I thought between the 3,000 hits, the 10 Gold Gloves, and his nickname is Mr. Tiger,
Yeah,
that he should be on
He had
the
to be
Mount
on
Rushmore. Yeah.
You're talking about a guy with 3,000 hits, but he's not just a slap hitter. He also has 400 home runs.
right.
And almost 1,600 RBIs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. With 10 Gold Gloves, baby.
10 gold gloves. You knew a guy with 10 gold gloves was going to grab Wade's attention.
Yes.
Mr. Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be on the Mount Rushmore. No, I'm
He's
kidding.
like the fan favorite Detroit Tiger.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's their favorite.
22
Tiger.
years in Detroit, led the league in hits, led the league in doubles, led the league, had won a batting title, led the league in slugging percentage, led the league in OPS. Yeah. I'm going to say Drew's messed up.
It's okay. I think that too. The segment's not over yet, so who's next? Keep it rolling.
He also has 4 top 5 MVP finishes. He would have played after Greenberg and Gehringer, though. He wouldn't have been. He came shortly thereafter them.
So was he like 50s?
50s and 60s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
50s and 60s were kind of like a badass era of baseball.
They were,
That,
dude.
that
They
might
were.
be the best, like as far as like all-time greats at the same time. That might be the era.
I think
pretty
you're right.
loaded.
I think you're right. All right. Does anybody have more than one player left?
No, I just got 1.
I just got 1.
Drew?
1.
All right. So does everybody have Ty Cobb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, this is nuts. He's got 12 batting titles. He won 12 of 13. In a 13-year span, he won 12 of them.
Yeah.
And
He
this
also,
is,
does he have like 900 stolen bases or something like
he's
that?
got an MVP, a triple
Yeah,
crown.
he was who Ricky passed.
4,000 hits, 117 home runs, batted 366 for his career. Yeah, he's got. It went 350, 324, 377, 382, 419, 409, 389, 368, 369, 370, but didn't win. 383, 382, 384.
That is nasty. Didn't he go Ty Cobb, Lou Brock, Henderson?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
Lou
You're
Brock.
right.
So
Yeah.
Brock
Brock
broke
passed
his.
Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
So he had it all the way up until Brock. That's still a long
It
time
is.
though.
Oh yeah,
When did Brock break it?
would have been late '60s, early '70s, I think.
And yeah,
So
I mean,
like 40, 50 years later after Cobb.
yeah. So
Well, by the way, Cobb has one MVP, but he would have played during that time where you couldn't
You
win a
only
second
get
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just led the league in stuff every year. Like he led the league in runs 5 times. He led the league in hits 8 times. He led the league in doubles 3 times and triples 4 times. He led the league in home runs once, but 9. He led the league in RBIs 4 times. He led the league in stolen bases 6 times. Like you said, what, 11 batting titles, 12 batting titles?
12 batting titles in 13 years.
He's 7 on base percentage
It's
leader.
the all-time leader in batting average.
Yeah, he's the all-time leader in batting average. I mean, let's be honest, this is just a total no-brainer. Like, yeah, like it's Ty Cobb.
It gotta
Like,
be, yeah.
Ty Cobb's a beast. When he's the all-time leader in batting average. When he retired, he was the all-time leader in stolen bases. Like you're talking about, dude. If you told me you have a leadoff hitter that has the highest batting average ever and the most stolen bases ever, what more can you ask for?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's like the perfect leadoff hitter.
Right? Yeah.
He's kind of like when you think of like some of the older baseball players, then you kind of think of like older basketball players. Like whenever you make an all-time great basketball list, Russell, Wilt, and Oscar Robinson make all lists. They were the ultimate old timers that were just men amongst boys.
Mm-hmm.
And like Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth are that in baseball.
Yeah.
Like they're, and then probably like someone else, probably like Lou Gehrig too. But like they were just, that was their era. They were the men amongst boys. Like they just put up numbers that were just unforeseen. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I wonder about Ty Cobb a lot because a lot of Ty Cobb's famousness and a lot of people know Ty Cobb. Even non-baseball fans a lot of times know who Ty Cobb is because he's the guy that, he sharpened his spikes and hurt people, and he was, such a mean and rude and vulgar person. He got in lots of fights, and he got, and all these things. But now that guy wrote that book a couple years ago saying none of that stuff was true, and he slept with the wife of some newspaper writer, and the newspaper guy made all the stories up to get back at Ty Cobb, and it ruined Ty Cobb's reputation. So you're like, man, I don't know what to think about that now. But at the same time, would Ty Cobb be as famous as he is today if we didn't think about him sharpening his spikes and hurting people and like doing those things?
I mean, he was such an asshole. Kevin Costner put it in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, was that Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
they talk about him.
we would
being an
still would talk
asshole.
about him having 4,000 hits. I mean, it'd be him and what?
Well, I'm not saying we would not know who he is, but I mean, like, how much of his popularity is based on all these crazy stories? I mean, there was a story about him shooting a man in a bar.
He'd be Tris Speaker. If you're like a deep baseball fan, you know Tris Speaker because he has these insane numbers, but you don't really know a whole lot. Like, he's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's like kind of under Ty Cobb in like popularity, but they kind of had similar production.
They did, yeah. Anyway, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, 7 guys, one of which is already in Ty Cobb. So we have 6 guys for 3 spots, same as last week, I guess. 2 guys have 4 votes already. Miguel Cabrera and Al Kaline have 4 votes. Then we have Greenberg with 3, Charlie Gehringer with 2, and then Verlander and Lou Whitaker with 1 apiece. So, does anybody have a move already in mind that they want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll go to Alkaline.
Alkaline, the battery?
Alkaline.
Alkaline. Yeah.
Not alkaline.
That's my boy Alkaline. Yeah, I'll go to him.
So you coming off Verlander?
Yeah.
All right, well,
Alright,
good.
for
Verlander's
Kaline,
going.
yeah.
Deal.
Yeah, we needed Mr. Tiger in. Thank you, Drew.
It's fine.
Yes. Thank you, Drew. Hey, Ray. What do you think about old Lou there?
We don't even know anything about him, right? Just take him off the list. At least I elaborated on Verlander. All I know is that he played second base for the Tigers. You gotta take him off.
I'm
Well,
trying to think where I want to move here.
Oh no.
that's also true. Yeah. Which one of those guys do you have?
I've got Charlie G.
So you're going to Greenberg or Mickey?
Get Miggy in. We gotta get Miggy in.
Mickey. Then we can go to the boards.
Let's force a move here.
Oh,
He's gonna go to Greenberg.
wrong box.
There's a right box.
A3.
Gotta move it.
A3. Not B.
Now we have 2 4s and a 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Forcing my own hand here.
Wow.
No way, you're kind of screwing yourself still.
I mean,
Because you're putting your guy in is that even more of a disadvantage now. 4-2 instead of 3-2, so.
That's true.
By the way, if we need one,
But I didn't
I
say
don't-
the magic word. Drew.
I don't
didn't
know.
say the magic word.
Oh.
Locked in. I don't know any Tigers fans.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
locked in on Mickey. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not.
I mean, yeah, I just wanted Miggy in. I don't.
So Ray doesn't have Miggy. Wade doesn't have Greenberg.
Yeah.
And they're the two with Charlie G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want. I mean, I'm not like super. I don't know. I didn't think this one was gonna be too big a deal, I guess. Do you really want to write it out with Charlie G?
These fucking Tigers. I don't give a fuck.
You guys can make a deal here.
I mean, I'll go to Greenberg if he puts Miguel Cabrera in.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Well, there we go.
They
I got
made a deal
all
with
4 this week.
As did I.
Oh, man.
I just batted myself into a corner.
I didn't know if
can't
we
go
were
anywhere.
riding hard or not. I was like, okay, we're
Well,
making some moves here.
Wade's down for
I'm the other
whatever.
Charlie G guy.
Wade will dig in deeper. He'll just say, oh,
Well,
screw it.
after I made the move to Greenberg, I'm like, oh yeah, I got Charlie G.
I mean, Greenberg and I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
they're-
overly
they're
passionate about
pretty
either
old
one.
Guys, yeah.
Well-
Really old guys, because Ty Cobb and Kaline are pretty old too.
Yeah.
For the listeners' sake, I will go over who our final 4 Mount Rushmore members are. They are Hank Greenberg, Miguel Cabrera, Al Kaline, and Ty Cobb. So 3 Hall of Famers and 1 soon-to-be Hall of Famer. So in a few years, we'll have all 4 of these guys in the Hall. And I would say this is probably one of the best 4s we've got.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
2 of the guys have 2 MVPs,
Mm-hmm.
and Ty Cobb could only win 1.
Yeah.
You know, so that's pretty loaded.
Yeah, it
That's,
is.
yeah, that's a pretty legit one.
Yeah, and you've got, what, 1, 2, 3 guys in the 3,000 hit club. And just 1 guy in the 500 home run club. But I don't think Greenberg didn't get there, did he?
No.
Because his career was cut short. All right, well, I think that wraps up the Tigers Mount Rushmore part of this episode and moves us into MVP discussion. Drew, what year shall we discuss?
1988.
All right, the 1988 AL MVP discussion starts here at the top with none other than Mr. Steroid himself, Jose Canseco, who was in fact juiced. But he received 100% of the first place votes.
Wow.
He was came in 5th in WAR this season in the NL.
Wait.
Or AL, I mean, sorry.
Just in the AL, he was 5th in WAR.
Yeah.
While doing 40-40.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So he scored 120 runs with 187 hits, 42 home runs, 124 RBIs. Both those last two led the majors or led the AL. 40 stolen bases, 78 walks with a 307 batting average, 391 on base, a 569 slug, which led the league, and a 959 OPS. I would say he had himself a really great season. I mean, not only is he 40-40, but he leads the league in RBIs. He scores well over 100 runs. He has almost 200 hits. He almost walks 100 times. He bats over 300. He leads the league in slugging percentage.
It's going to be hard to dethrone him from this MVP, it sounds like.
I'm going to agree with you, but I'll give it a shot. Coming in second is none other than Mike Greenwell, outfielder for the Boston Red Sox, who I mentioned, I think, off air that even Red Sox fans don't like Mike Greenwell. So
He's out. He doesn't lead anything. No categories.
He batted .325 with 22 home runs and 119 RBIs with 16 steals. He scored 86 runs and had 192 hits. He had 416 on base, 531 slug, and a 946 OPS. Solid season. I'm not bashing it. Solid season.
Number 3. All right, number 3, Kirby Puckett had a pretty good year too.
Puckett did have a good season. 109 runs scored. Led the league with 234 hits. He had 24 home runs, 121 RBIs, only 6 stolen bases, 23 walks, but a 356 batting average, and 375 on base, 545 slug for a 920 OPS. Kirby Puckett had himself a nice season.
That was nice.
And then the WAR leader was Boggs, right?
Yeah, the WAR leader was Boggs. Boggs scored 128 runs, which led the league. He had 214 hits. He only had 5 home runs, which is not uncommon for him. 58 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. He also led the league with 125 walks. He also led the league with a 366 batting average, and also led the league with a 476 on base percentage.
Oh my!
Almost 500. So almost got on base 50% of the time.
That's insane.
A 490 slug for leading the league with a 965 OPS.
That's nuts.
Boggs had himself a season, man.
He
But
did.
I know a lot of people that share the last name of Wade and I, and also are Red Sox fans, that would tell you Boggs isn't important because he didn't produce runs. And,
Didn't you say he led the league in runs?
Yep, he did indeed.
So I'd say he produced something.
Well, I got my Mythbuster shirt on, so I'd say that's busted.
Problem solved. Yeah. Okay, what was it? They said Dustin Pedroia is better than Wade Boggs.
Yeah, they did. Jeremy made that case.
That's
yeah.
blasphemy.
Every time we talk about Wade Boggs, he's always batting like 360 or something.
He was nuts.
Every time. Every time we talk about him, his on base percentage was way over 4 most of the time.
Well, I mean, led the league in runs, base on balls, batting average, on base percentage, and OPS.
Did he hit like a bunch of doubles or something that year?
It's not listed on here, but he always had a decent amount of doubles. He always hit doubles.
But
So we're looking at 1988.
Canseco led the league in home runs, RBIs.
I'm not saying he's better than Canseco. I'm just talking. He had 45 doubles, which led the league.
So Wade Boggs led the league in doubles too.
I think he deserved to be higher than 6th.
I agree with
He
that.
probably should have been second.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I mean, I'm like you guys. I think Canseco probably gets
I think
it.
Canseco
but-
still wins, but I think Boggs
but
got
I think Boggs got shafted.
I'd say Boggs and then Strawberry. Or not Strawberry, Kirby Puckett.
Yeah. Puckett was 3rd.
Said Strawberry.
later, Wade.
Later.
Oh, we love foreshadowing.
Yes. Because Puckett was nice. Nice numbers.
He
I feel like ever since we've talked about Puckett, he's come up like every episode now.
He was a really good player for a little while.
By the way, Ricky Henderson stole 93 bags this year.
Sounds like a nice Ricky Henderson year. Yeah.
Oh, Ricky. He's with the Yankees at this point.
Really?
I mean, he hit 305 with 6 home runs and 50 RBIs with 93 steals.
How many runs did he score?
118. So
He-
10 less than Boggs.
Dang. And he stole 90-some bases. That's insane.
Oh, Ricky.
So we all just agreed that Canseco won, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Lou Dort. Yeah. I just can't see a way around Canseco losing this. I mean, I'll look up Oakland and see what they finished, but McGuire was there too, so I don't see them being bad.
No.
88 Oakland. They won 104 games
Wow.
They ended up losing the World Series.
They lost the World Series?
Yeah.
to the Dodgers.
Oh, it's
We'll be discussing shortly.
we keep bringing it up.
I'm gonna say Canseco's the MVP. Anybody disagree?
No, I agree.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, we got to stop this. This is 3 in a row that we've all said, yep, he keeps it.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean,
guy went 40-40.
Well, speaking of changing it, let's talk about the NL.
Yeah, that's getting changed.
Our buddy old Kirk Gibson is the MVP of the NL in 1988. His season is as follows: 106 runs, 157 hits, 25 home runs, 76 RBIs, 31 stolen bases, 73 walks, 290 batting average, 377 on base, 483 slug for a 860 OPS. A nice season. I just don't see it as an MVP. I just can't get there.
He didn't lead the league in anything.
Didn't lead the league in anything. None of it, even if, I could even accept it if, like, he had a category where he had a super good, like, say he hit 50 home runs, but somebody else hit 52, you know, and you're like, all right, that's really
Right.
cool. He still hit 50 home runs. No, there's nothing there that's, like, really jumps off the page to you at all.
If you only have 77 RBIs, you better have a fucking hell of a batting average. 290 ain't cutting it with 77
No.
RBIs.
Yeah.
It's wild. He won it.
But then you have Darryl Strawberry, who came in second place, and he had 101 runs, 146 hits, with 39 home runs, which led the league, 101 RBIs, 29 stolen bases, 85 walks, a 269 batting average, 366 on base, led the league with a 545 slug, and led the league with a 911 OPS. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I would give it to Strawberry over Gibson.
Sounds like it.
Well, we need to take a look at Will Clark too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at some other guys here. I'll be honest with you, I don't really understand the McReynolds Van Slyke back to back here at 3 and 4 over a guy like Will Clark or Earl Hershiser, who has a really nice
We
season.
ain't talking
Yeah.
about a 2.2 ERA.
Yeah.
But Will Clark has 102 runs, 162 hits, 29 home runs, 109 RBIs, which led the league, 9 stolen bases, 100 walks, which led the league, 282 batting average, 386 on base, 508 slug for a 894 OPS.
I think he and Strawberry both beat Gibson.
Yeah, I still lean Strawberry as the winner.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I think so too.
But here's Drew's right. The Oral Hershiser conversation could be interesting because Hershiser, who did lead the NL in WAR this year, led the league with 23 wins and only 8 losses, with a 2.26 ERA in 35 games. He also has a save, by the way, which is weird enough. He also led the league with 267 innings and 100. Then he has 178 strikeouts.
I think he's got a case in some of these other guys. It's a pretty decent year.
Well, and look at David Cone, the next one down.
Yeah, he has 20. He went 20 and 3 with a 2.22 ERA
Over 200
and
strikeouts.
213 strikeouts.
Yeah.
I think David Cone might have a better season than Hershiser. And Hershiser won the Cy Young.
Here's something funny. I'm
What's
trying
that?
to research if there's something we're missing about the Kirk Gibson MVP. It says the year he won the MVP, he didn't lead the league in anything. He didn't win a Gold Glove. He didn't even make the All-Star game, but he won the MVP.
What?
It's the limping home run.
Yeah, but they voted on it before that.
Yeah.
Well, were the Dodgers a big deal at that point, though? Were they like a big draw?
They won the
Well,
World
they won the
Series,
World Series
that
that
year.
World Series, yeah.
I'm
They
talking
won
about like
they won
before
nine.
that when they were making the MVP voting. Like, were they a big popular team at that point?
I mean, it's the Dodgers. I assume they're popular. They won 94 games, which is not something to shake a stick at. But like we said, Oakland won 104.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, on this list,
Who else in the NL? Like, what did the other guys do in their games? How many games did the Mets win? In 88, the Mets won 100 games. The Mets are number one in the NL East. They won 100 games.
I don't know why Strawberry.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Kirk Gibson received 13 first place votes, and Strawberry 7. But the guy that came in third, this Kevin McReynolds character, got 4, and he played on the same team as Darryl
Right,
Strawberry.
on the Mets.
So that would have made this stupid close, 13-11.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kirk Gibson still would have won, but that is weird. I'm going to say I think Darryl Strawberry is the MVP.
I think so too. I'd
I'm
really go
going
with
with-
Straw.
I'm going with Strawberry.
I think Strawberry is the MVP, and we just said that his team won 100 games. It wasn't like he was a last place finisher.
Yeah.
His team won 100 games more than Kirk Gibson. His stats are better than Kirk Gibson's. Yeah, I don't really know.
No joke. One of the articles I brought up, it said Gibson won the National League MVP with the Dodgers in '88, largely on the winning attitude he helped bring to the eventual world champions.
So we gotta have good winning attitude.
Positivity.
Like Steve Nash, I get those positive touches, and it worked for him too.
Well, it says the winning attitude, and right after that says, as it is usually said, statistically, I can't say that word. It could easily be argued there were more deserving players.
Yeah.
So they tried saying he got it because of his winning attitude. Oh.
By the way, we just said that we thought maybe Derek Cohn had the best pitching season. He came in third in the Cy Young.
Second.
Danny Jackson from Cincinnati.
Danny Jackson when he pitched for the Cardinals a little bit, but who won the ERA that year? Because Hershiser was 2.3 or something, and Cohn was 2.22, but neither one was the leader. I don't think.
No, they weren't. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking, who was that?
Who's the ER? Oh.
We don't have either ERA winner, AL or NL, on this list.
What the fuck happened in '88?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Go to Google. Ask him who led the league at ERA.
Yeah,
Is that the
go
year?
for it.
What's his name came onto the Dodgers as a rookie?
Venezuela?
Oh,
And
Fernando?
Is it him? Was he there for their championship?
He was. I think he was
I
there
think
for their
he was.
championship.
Yeah, because
Because he had those 1 or 2 crazy years.
Fernando
yeah,
Nation,
well.
man. Yeah.
Man, can you imagine a team with Hershiser and Valenzuela?
Yeah.
And see, Steve Sachs was on that list, and he played infield for the Dodgers then.
Yeah, Steve Sachs. Yep. Yeah, he had 277 with 5 home runs, 57 RBIs, and 42
no,
stolen
Cardinal
bases.
pitcher. McGrain.
Joe McGrain?
Yeah, 2.1.
Nice.
2.18.
Who
Go
won
Joe.
Who won the AL?
Your mom liked Joe McGrain.
Hmm. I don't think I've heard of him.
I don't think I have either.
He was a good pitcher for a short period of time.
I'm trying to figure out how to switch it to the American League. Nationally, I want the American League. No, give me
Is
the-
there an American League button?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find.
It's weird, though, that neither ERA title winner is even getting votes for the Cy Young.
Right.
Here we go. 1988 American League. Anderson from Minnesota, 2.45.
Hmm.
Who'd you say it was, Ray? Drew.
Oh, Anderson from Minnesota. Alan Anderson.
Oh, I don't know who that
I don't
is.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he went. This is his career: 5'5", 10'9", 2'4", 3'8", 4'5", 5.
Mm.
Okay.
That's crazy. 1 year, he just.
Just had it for 1 year.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I think we talked about our MVPs here. And that will wrap this up, I believe. We will have. I appreciate you tuning in for this Tigers episode. And we would appreciate you tuning in next week where we move divisions to the NL Central.
Thank God.
And we will be talking about none other than the Pittsburgh Pirates. So yellow and black. Pittsburgh Pirates.
Black and yellow. Gotta stop. Copyright kicks in after like 5 seconds.
And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.